Hello and welcome to Social Media, episode 5th June 2018. I always had trouble doing this because Faustina will look at me weird and hope that I make a mistake.
No!
My name is Sean.
Who next lah? Faustina here.
I'm Rehan.
I'm JK.
He's back.
Yeah, JK's back. Say hi to JK.
Hi.
Bye.
Alright, in our topics today, WhatsApp is rolling out predicted upload feature. What is it? We'll be talking about that.
Next will be Google Assistant. Fire the gun and the world is panicking.
Number third will be Uganda passes tax law on social media.
Papua New Guinea plans to ban Facebook for a month.
And considers launching a replacement. What are they trying to do?
Create suspense.
Yeah. Couples in China can now file divorce on WeChat.
Then we have tips and tricks on.
A mobile app.
Yep.
Really?
We'll tell you later.
Nice. All right, let's back to our headlines. Let's back to our story. The first in line is WhatsApp rolling out predicted upload feature. WhatsApp's file sharing format is pretty straightforward. You know how to use it, right?
Yeah.
You click the button, choose which file to send, and it goes out with no problems at all when you hit send. There are some articles circulating saying that WhatsApp has an intention to roll out a new layer of file sharing, which they call predicted upload. So what this does is, when you express your intention to send an image, you will enter the edit/crop stage where you can do the last minute editing before you send it out to someone.
Beautify.
Yeah, this one works with images and videos. It works with these files at the moment. I'm not sure if it will ever go to other formats. So what happens is that as you are tweaking the image, right, WhatsApp will have already uploaded a large chunk of the file onto their server and awaiting your remaining data to be confirmed by you. And once you confirmed, by hitting the send button, everything else will be sent over to their server and then over to the recipient. So we assume that if you don't hit the send button, the file does not go through. And we also assume that it will be deleted from the server.
Okay.
So I think this is a very bizarre feature. Well, this feature will be rolling out to iOS and Android very soon with no estimated date. I'm sorry. With no estimated date. So I think this is freaky because WhatsApp is supposed to have end-to-end encryption.
Yeah.
And right now they're telling you they have a server where they store all your porn and other decent pictures and videos
so guys,
of yourselves.
Be careful what you upload there.
Yeah, so your decent pictures and videos, they're storing it in the server. I don't know what is the purpose of them doing this. Maybe it's because they want to introduce a feature where you can actually send photos and images and videos in full format. Because at the moment now, what happens is that when you send a video and picture over, it compresses. It could be because they don't have a server or their server is limited, or the transfer time takes a while. So this is how they can optimize the movement of the file. But this one raises concerns that them storing a huge chunk of things temporarily, with WhatsApp being owned by Facebook, there is no such thing as trust with
I was gonna
Facebook.
bring that up.
Yeah. I mean, I have trust issues with Facebook, so I don't like this. What do you guys think?
If I want to send a picture or video, I would just send it straight. I wouldn't want to upload it fully to WhatsApp server and then later on only send, like after maybe 1-2 hours, then only I'll send it. So
But that's the usual consumer behavior of especially Malaysian. That we are quite used to sending files through WhatsApp already. So that is a way they can actually store our data. I mean, I won't. The percentage for me using AirDrop and sending through WhatsApp has like 90% of my usage, and AirDrop like 10%.
Yeah, because the limitation of AirDrop is quite high. It's like you can't send it to this, you can't send it to that, you can't send it to this
And
kind of
then it's
stuff.
like if I want to share via email, it's too formal.
Yeah.
But there are some media like high definition pictures and all this that you want to send, you can't send it through WhatsApp
Mhm.
because WhatsApp will
Compress.
compress it and
correct?
then
Yep.
it will be pixelated. So that one
Yep.
you still send it through email.
I
lah.
mean, like for professional usage,
Yes,
like
email.
really important high res picture, we'll probably send through email. But you know, like things like the selfies like or whatever picture that you want to send, actually those are the data that they actually want to know, because they want to know our like further insight of our personal, what do we send often, or what kind of usage of filter do we use.
I think
kind
we
of
assume
thing.
that what WhatsApp is trying to do with this feature is just to make the
Optimize,
sending
yeah.
easier. If they're actually monitoring, that means they are already doing something very wrong, which they shouldn't be doing. But that said, do you know, I'm about to teach you guys a new feature here with WhatsApp. It's actually an old feature.
Yeah.
It's a hack, right? So you know when you send videos and you send images, right? They always compress it.
Yeah.
But if you send it as a document,
Yeah.
you send it as a full format. Jeng Jeng, you heard it here. It's Social Media Weekly.
But I think the whole, before you get to confirm whether you want to edit or crop and all those things. For me, I personally crop it outside of
Yeah,
the
you
apps.
use
And then you
Yeah,
send it.
yeah.
But okay, the thing is the issue here is not about like when it what you do prior to sending it. The issue is that as you're doing it, they're taking a delay time, if at all it exists. They're taking this delay time to actually store it temporarily in the placeholder right in the middle of somewhere, and then as you complete your sending, and then it moves over to somewhere else. So chances are, let's say for example, if you send it without cropping, right? It may just briefly tap onto the server and then bounce out back to the recipient.
Now that you mentioned that, does that mean that whatever that has been deleted by you, it's stored in the
I have no idea. I have no
Dang,
idea.
because I just remembered, they have a delete function now. So
Oh
by
wow.
by this
by
one,
default.
yeah,
So
by
if you
default.
delete it in your side and their side, does this mean that Facebook also deletes it in the middle, or do
It's
they actually
still
still store it
there.
anyway?
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's bad hit.
so let's say for example, if we find out that Facebook does indeed keep a copy of our photos, right? Would you move on to a different platform? Would it be severe enough for you to move on to a different platform like Signal or Telegram, or would you still say everybody is still using WhatsApp, I will still stay in WhatsApp regardless?
Because like a lot of people are still using WhatsApp. Let's say Telegram, right? Okay, let's say I have like 10 friends and only one of them are using Telegram. The rest are still WhatsApp.
Mhm.
I will still use WhatsApp because like everyone's talking there and
Yeah.
so it's easier.
I mean, like I don't mind disclosing this part of information to you.
Rather than converting them to use Telegram,
Yeah.
it will be more difficult.
Okay.
There's the WhatsApp marketing job to do.
Fair enough. Topic number 2.
Google Assistant fired a gun and the world is panicking. So according to the recent video, there's a digital assistant that can now do a large little task for the people, such as turning off the lights or water heater, reminding you on tasks, directing you from place to place. But recently, someone actually programmed it, and by an artist called Alexander Reben, it took it to another level. So he taught Google Assistant how to fire a gun. So this video is called Google Shoots, and in it issues a command on Google Assistant to fire a gun at an apple.
How coincidental.
Ironically, an Apple user
Ironically.
is reading this.
So I don't know, is there a hidden message in it? But okay, just saying. Okay, anyways, so what he does is just by saying "Okay Google" and it activates it and say "Activate gun" and the gun fires.
I think you just activated
So-
my
Okay, sorry.
Google Assistant.
Okay, so anyways, this is not a typical command in Google Response lah. But a nerd can easily tweak codes to answer the customer's command. So we're looking at a larger scale. How can this AI actually will people weaponize AI?
Yes,
Or something like that.
I
It's quite
think this is a
concern.
very scary-
People is that it depends on their intention of using all this AI assistant thing. Because like some of us, we just want to use it for like to help us set reminders or set appointments and whatnot, whatever we need to get settled. But there are some people who, they
So,
have other intentions.
so right now there are some digital assistants like Bixby and Alexa, and even Siri. Quite recently, from the WWDC that I just watched this morning, they actually allow normal users like us to give customized commands to for the assistant to do. Like, let's say, for example, the one that Siri just demonstrated was that Siri if a user says, "Hey Siri, I'm going home now," and then it activates a whole list of commands like calling someone or texting someone saying that I'm going home, activating your heater, turning on your car, all these kind of things will happen. And Bixby is also doing it. Bixby from Samsung is also doing it, but nobody uses Bixby. Though I've been using a Note 8 for many months now, and the only time I ever activate Bixby is accidentally. Oh, poor Bixby. Anyway, back to this topic. So the question here now is that if you allow an artificial intelligence to kill, to execute or to execute something based on your orders, like activate gun or shoot someone. Imagine now that AI will be available in our cars, in planes, in our mobile devices, in our microwave ovens, in the heaters, and all appliances, everything at home, at work, in the office, in schools, may all be AI enabled. Imagine if a guy goes in there and just hacks the whole thing and
total damage, man.
starts a shootout.
Skynet.
Where's Terminator?
But I think it's a subject that has been people has been talking about for like how many centuries.
Yeah.
Science fiction has
long
been
time.
talking about AI and stuff like that.
And their predictions are somewhat coming true.
Yeah, I mean,
It's very scary.
I think it's a situation that we can't avoid, but rather how to control it, I guess. Because I mean, you kind of know that the whole robot taking over the whole thing.
Yeah.
Again, it's very scary.
I think it's something that it's a kind of function that we know already exists, but we refuse to accept the fact that it's there until someone shows it in a 30-second video. You're like, whoa, holy shit, this is real. You know?
It has always been there since I'm like 18 now. I'm like 30 already. So
But looking at these things these are all the evolution of the world, I would say.
Yeah.
So it's like going back to the very old century where a car just produced. People can think like, oh my god, you can drive something so fast and bang someone die.
Yeah. Yes.
Should we ban
Same-
car?
exactly the same.
You know? It's the same cycle.
the same-
it's just
same thing,
how we control it.
That's true.
So yeah.
okay, moving on. So Uganda passes tax law on social media to reduce gossiping and social media addiction.
Okay.
Apparently, they claim that it will help people from spreading lies. What do you think?
I'm very interested on how this works, seriously.
It's like, okay,
What?
according to the article, what it says is that this applies to Facebook, Twitter, Viber, and WhatsApp. And people have to pay 20 cents, ringgit, 20 cents equivalent, which is 200 shillings a day to use the platform. So I don't know how they do it. Maybe someone has to register it and they have to put like a prepaid card or something like that. And so you have to pay a tax to use it every day.
Okay lah, it will definitely stop me from using social media.
But I think
Definitely.
I think it's something like what happened in Malaysia with the whole GST thing. When it implemented, but you wanted to use it, you kind of pay for it also. It's kind of the kind of situation for me. No, like
you think
like
5 times
like
before
social
you
media
spend.
You would
people
think
like
5 times before
us,
you- But the thing is, okay, the thing to me is maybe it makes sense to put a tax, right? But per day, I mean, I think the problem the question with internet addiction and gossiping and fake news is not about whether you use it per day, it's how long do you use per day and
Yeah,
how
I
much
think-
of it you use per day. So if I were to log in for 15 minutes every day, I will still text. I might as well use it for the entire day. You know, it's pay per entry, not
So
pay
you
per
actually,
usage.
you actually make the addiction worse.
Yeah, it's either you don't, or if you go in there, you might as well
fully
just go
utilize
on.
it.
Yeah, fully utilize
Especially
it.
China, man.
Unless
God.
like they charge the tax every time you enter.
But the purpose is to reduce gossiping online. This kind of method doesn't reduce gossiping online.
I think it
Yeah,
encourages
it's-
more, right?
I think it's a human behavior is like the more you restrict them, the more they want to do it.
Rebel.
Because things that are illegal are the best things to have.
My God.
And
Spoken
and
by our-
let's say for example, if they were to put the levy in this stage, right? Once let's say you use it for the first 3 hours, you're fine. You pass the 5th hour, then they charge you something. Pass hour number 7, then they charge you something.
Okay.
So what it does is, social media is something that people cannot escape, right? But how much of it being used can be controlled, can be taxed, then it helps. And the other issue also here is it also works with the next topic, where the question comes up as in like, if you pass a tax and you create a barrier to people using social media, are you actually trying to prevent free speech? Are you trying to minimize the usage of free speech? Yeah. Free speech is supposed to be free. You don't need you're not
tax.
supposed to impose tax on free speech.
Exactly.
Then it's tax speech.
Like even now with our own government
Paid speech.
updating the PPPA law, the
Yeah.
press freedom of speech.
Yeah.
So yeah,
My
but
God.
yeah, it's just to restrict.
Now it's
fake
like
news.
putting tax on conversation.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, you
I
talk.
talk too much. I talk-
Oh my God, Dr. Hao.
Oh, Jake.
Dr. Hao text a lot. He has the highest attacking.
Kate's
Oh,
gonna
you
get
talk
a
1
lot.
hour, I will need to text you 24%.
There you have it, people. The most talkative among us all.
GG.
Faustina, you want to update us on what's happening in Papua New Guinea?
Yes. Papua New Guinea.
So Papua New Guinea plans to ban Facebook for a month, but they consider launching a replacement. So the reason why they are actually banning Facebook for a month is to collect user data and identify fake accounts, while at the same time, so real users will be silenced, while those still active will be identified as fake and will be removed.
Okay.
So the problem here is a question of censorship. Okay. So imagine if this applies to the political side of a country before election.
Yeah.
So that means like how people will manipulate you to voting for this side, the opposition, or the
I think
pro-government
the question here is that you see, Papua New Guinea may be doing this to run a test or an experiment on people, or it's a good way. On the surface, it's a good way to find out who are the fake accounts, because if all the real accounts are silenced, the only ones who are talking are fake accounts.
Yeah.
Right? Then you just ban all of them. You clean up, and then you go back to your status quo without the fake accounts. It's on the surface, it looks like a good fix, but the question is, it creates a precedent, which means that if one country is doing it, other countries can also start doing it. And if Papua New Guinea may be doing it for a good reason, if another country does it for a wrong reason, for example, on the month leading up to an election, if the Malaysia GE14 had a complete silence social media right before the GE, what would have happened?
We Malaysian will find a way, don't worry. We are very smart. We have been enduring for 60 years.
Alright. Okay, let's use a different country, Singapore or something, because a lot of education on how to vote or changes in stuff and education on what happens in a voting booth and stuff like that happens during the 1 month leading up to an election.
Yeah.
and a lot of fake news happened at that time as well. The same in the US, the Russians used Twitter and Facebook and did a lot of fake news spreading the month before as well. But this is part and parcel of democracy and part and parcel of freedom of speech, and so this is
So if they ban
That's the question
social
here.
media, if they ban the main social media platform, meaning that they are suppressing the freedom of speech.
yes, they are suppressing the freedom of speech.
Wow, we're on the topic of freedom of speech a lot.
Yeah. Well, two back to back. I think it's
Depending on what Papua New Guinea plans to do for it, the intention. But I think yes.
You want to say that again?
I don't want. Papua. I'll say Papua. But I guess that if it's to clear off inactive user, if let's say their system and process is really like they already research properly, actually they don't really have to ban in the series. They can ban in a shorter time frame, but in a more frequent. Meaning, say for instance, maybe they maintenance service Facebook for 10 minutes to 15 minutes from 3 a.m. to 3:45.
and you do it like once a month or twice a month or something like
correct.
that.
Then monthly you do that so people usually don't use it, and then whoever that's active during that time is your time to clear. But it's more how to say it's more frequent for the whoever that runs this project do lah. But it works. It has a better solution lah, I would say.
That's true.
So yeah.
All right, moving on. Now this is freedom of speech to you.
Another one.
Couples in China can now file for divorce on WeChat.
How's that legal?
You heard it right. This is a new service rolled out last month, starting trials in Guangdong province. There is an option to make an appointment for divorce registration within the app. So all you need to do is just to go into that app, you hit the button, right? Enter your location and personal details, and your registration will be processed.
So I'm guessing the
So
rate of
convenient.
divorce in China is quite high.
Yeah,
Actually,
well,
it is.
if you think text messaging, breaking up over text message is savage, this just takes the
reached
card.
another level.
It
Oh my
reaches another level.
God.
So in this article, right, what it does is it talks about all this, and then it actually screenshot comments, Twitter comments and everything, and you'd be surprised the reaction is very positive. Like, oh my god, finally I can do this.
You have to wait really
from the comfort of my phone.
I can live out of this miserable life with just a button.
With just a button, yeah.
Bye.
I don't even need to confront that person anymore. That kind of stuff.
Confront lah,
It's quite
meeting lah.
sad.
It is.
In a positive light, I guess it's quite
Convenient.
it's quite convenient for those like in an abusive relationship lah.
Yeah.
In that
very toxic,
perspective, yes.
Toxic and destructive relationship.
But I think it's not supposed to be easy in the first place.
Marriage is never easy.
It's supposed to be difficult.
I'm not
No?
married.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I guess we're in the era where everything is moving very fast.
Yeah,
Decision
it's just
making is
like
very
that.
fast. So I guess it happens for divorce. Who knows? Marriage also works like that. Send proposal, click yes or no.
Cannot lah.
And who
I
knows?
cannot. I think I'm an old.
No, but the
old
question.
soul
Okay,
for that.
let's do a counter argument here, right? If all I need to do is swipe left or right to decide whether I want to go out with someone or not, why can't I just do the same to let go of that person?
Yeah.
Yeah, it works that way.
And if we are talking about the whole, let's say, the sanctity of a marriage and the whole process and things like that, and do we sound like those old people who tells us that back in their days things were different and their days things were nicer,
Longer, 3 days rather than just like 24 hours.
Yeah.
Dinner is like 7 series. Say something.
I will be
Seven
that
course.
person telling people how pure and everything was so nice back then.
But I guess that's if I'm not mistaken, last time to get divorced is very hard. That you need some witness.
Documentation.
I think way before that you need some witness or something like that.
Proof and all this.
Yeah. So I guess this is
and a third person to
revolution.
validate
Yeah.
your comment.
Yeah.
So I guess this
Reason.
is a evolution of that.
Well, if you can call an Uber with the phone, you can break up with someone. You can divorce someone with the phone.
Via text.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess. All right, we'll just leave this somber and sad potential future with you guys, and Rehan's gonna go to tips and tricks.
Tips and tricks. We recently been playing with this we've been playing too much with this app that you get to animate your text like how people does it in the commercial, like After Effects and stuff like that, whereby you select a picture, then you get to animate it differently.
So
This one
the
looks
first thing
nice.
you do is you enter a text.
Then with a picture, you have to
Then you select picture.
I think you can do it without picture also.
Wait, what's the name of this app again?
Legend.
Legend.
Without the
You can
mobile.
find it in iOS and Android.
Yes.
Yep. So that is
So
LEGEND.
it has a lot of different quite cool features that we've been trying out for quite some time.
So it says here, well, Rehan is playing with it. So what I can see here is that you can actually do a bunch of typography, animation stuff.
It's really simple.
Then there are lower thirds and stuff like that. Just
Okay.
a very simple lower thirds and opener, they call it. Then you can export it as a GIF file or video file.
Okay.
So it's quite convenient in
Hold
terms
on.
of
If you were to export this one, it exports along with the
text.
image background as well,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Or can you put a video background?
No. This is
No,
just
so just image background.
Yeah.
So this one works well if, let's say, you are a kind of person who shoots and edit your video on the phone without leaving the mobile device. So this one extends to iPads and Android tablets as well. So let's say if you don't want to use a desktop or a laptop to edit your photos, your videos. What this does is it gives you a more funky way to spice up the entry, spice up the
Your text and
lower
stuff like
thirds, text,
We've been
and
playing
transitions.
a lot of this to create like GIFs.
Quite nice.
It's quite impressive actually compared to I've tried a lot of video apps and animation apps before. This one so far has been quite
Okay,
good.
this thing is going to my phone.
Yeah.
Legend, right?
Like we've been creating
Legend.
like GIFs to
I saw it,
mock
the one-
each other.
I was like, wow, Rehan, how do you do things so fast?
Magic, JK, magic.
I know, because if not, right? If not, what we would do is we would need to port it over to our desktop, do our stuff, and put it back in the phone.
Then I mean like After Effects renders like sometimes it takes forever to render.
I mean,
so
It can take 2 hours.
Okay, I tell you one thing. I had a bad experience with After Effects once that I actually found a nice animated lower third, right? Which I made a few copies of it, and all of a sudden I realized that my laptop started running out of space. And I was like struggling to free up space. And I use my laptop to play games as well, so I got games, and I'm not willing to actually delete the games. So those are the last stuff that I want to delete out. And throughout, all of a sudden I realized, right, all the copies of that lower third that I made, every single one of them was actually about 6 gigabytes in space, and I had like 12 or 15 of them.
Per lower third.
Yes.
Oh shit.
So once that was done, whoo,
So if you had 15 of it, that means you had 45.
exactly,
Gigs
and
taken
45
up
gigs
just for
out of
that.
256 is a lot of
Oh,
space.
shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the complexity of these things is quite intense, and it's nice if apps are able to give us the ability to do it like really, really simply, and it's still nice. It's okay if people know where it comes from, but at least it's fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So Legend is good. I'm getting it on my phone.
It's
He's
not.
downloading it now actually.
Yeah, I am. I
It's
don't
not
know.
an
an
app.
app.
See this,
It's
but
not
yeah.
an Apple.
And
It's,
It's
not.
not
How does it look like?
Legend.
No, I only got what? Mobile Legends.
Oh, your phone is not
Yeah.
here.
Oh, it's not computer friendly.
No.
I don't think so.
it's an app.
I don't think it does
It's
Mac
a
OS.
mobile app.
Okay, never mind. I'll give it another try.
So the good part is free.
And we'll let you
It's
know
free.
later
Does it have
when
a
it's on
paid?
Apple.
Does it have a paid?
No.
It's free.
So far there's no paid.
in-app purchases. Oh my god, I got an idea.
So far we've been using it, there's no...
There's no
Wait, does this
restriction.
work with? It doesn't work with Chrome browser, right? Does it?
I don't think so. This is under my personal account. It's stored because it's linked to my phone.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't think so.
Alrighty. So yeah, that's all we got for this episode. Is there anything else that you wanna
No.
No.
bowl about? No.
Nope.
No.
I'm gonna download that now.
All right, we're good.
Okay, everyone's downloading that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is Social Media Weekly, episode 5th June 2018. You can get all our, you can listen to all our podcasts on
Anchor.
Anchor.fm, Pocket Cast, at Apple Podcast. We will also be uploading them on our website as well, and on our Facebook and our Instagram. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Yes.
Yep, my name is Sean.
I'm Rehan.
I'm JK.
Christina.
We will see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.